Part of reducing the stress in our lives and in our minds is having a clear goal, or at least an intention or direction in life you want to move towards. But even with goals or intentions, they are nothing if you don't also periodically review and reflect on where you're at. This video is an interactive session that's going to help you reflect and review the last 3 months and plan out the next 3 months. So grab your pen and a notebook or journal, analog or digital, whatever works for you, and let's get started. Stick around till the end because I'll share with you my reflections on the first quarter of the year and my intentions for the second of the year too. Hi, and welcome back to my channel. If we haven't met yet, I'm Jaime at Enlightened Spoon, feeding your mind, body, soul. On this channel, you'll get lifestyle tools to help bring some ease into your busy life, just like today's, and other times you'll get quick yoga and meditation sessions, all tools to help you stress less yet accomplish more. So hit that like button and subscribe if you want more like this. We are coming to the end of March, which means the first quarter of the year is done. A great time to check in and reflect on where we're at with those New Year intentions. Because what's the point of setting New Year's intentions if we only look at them once a year? This is not a video to judge yourself, compare, or feel down on yourself if you're not there yet, wherever there is. In fact, it's the opposite. Taking a moment to reflect on some of the highlights and celebrate the wins, no matter how small, and reflect on the challenges you faced so far can help you determine if what you've been doing has been working, or if it hasn't, what then can be improved. The key part here is reflection. Because if we don't take the time to review and reflect, there is no way to effectively track how close or far away you are from your goals. Cut to the end of 2021, where you're setting the same goals again for 2022, and then you wonder,
what's the point in any of this? Goals suck. Let's get back to Netflix.
And while that might be a temporary band-aid making you feel better for a little bit, underneath it all, there's this feeling you can't shake off of knowing that there's got to be something more or deeper you want to be doing with your life. So take a little bit of time for reflection and plan with me today. I'll be giving you some journal prompts along the way, questions or statements for you to reflect and think on, and then I'll indicate when you can press pause on this video as you're reflecting, writing, and setting your intentions. Whenever you're ready for the next prompt, just hit that play button again. Before we begin, if you hadn't started this year setting any intentions, you might like to go back to this video and start there. Today's video is a follow-up check-in, but you can start here too if you find these journal prompts helpful. You can use today's prompts every quarter, that's every 3 months, or every month, or even every week. Just use the timestamps below to head straight to the journal prompts if you're repeating this every month or week. As with any goal you set, it's always best to break it down into smaller chunks and then break it down again into individual tasks so it becomes less of this big thing you have to get done, but something more focused and achievable. I like working in 3-month or 90-day cycles, breaking up the year into 4 quarters, so you get 4 90-day cycles, as that's enough time to see some progress and make change. And if things are still not progressing, then there's time to reassess if it was really an achievable goal in the first place or whether it's time to let it go and move on to something else. It's important to note that none of these intentions and goals are set in stone. If through reflecting you realize, hang on a minute, this has been on my goals list for a while now, but I haven't actually got round to it, well then, what's really the issue here? Was it really that important to you? Or in some cases, you might realize you'll need to change the structure of your plan. For example, if waking up early to work out just hasn't been working, maybe you'll need to try working out in the afternoon or at the end of the day for a couple of weeks and see how that goes. And in some cases, you might realize it's become less of a priority to you right now while you decide to focus on something else that might be more important to you in the next 3 months. Okay, have you got your pen and notebook ready? It's probably best to set aside around a half hour and find a quiet space where you won't be distracted while you reflect on the last 3 months, set intentions, and plan out the next. Of course, this also means put your phone away and turn off all notifications so you can really focus on this. Before we begin, let's do a short little meditation, just a couple of minutes to clear the mind, connect with your heart space, and drop down into this more feeling space. So it's rooted in your authentic self and what you truly want to move towards in the next 90 days. So if you're ready, wherever you are, Let's get comfy. If you're sitting on a chair, ensuring both soles of the feet are grounded into the floor beneath you, sitting bones are rooted down, and just extending all the way through the spine, lengthening all the way through the crown of your head into the sky. Couple of moments to settle here. Deep inhales through the belly, deep exhales through the belly. Releasing any tension that doesn't need to be here, and actually releasing anything that doesn't need to be here now. Coming to that place of stillness in the mind and the thoughts, and sensing and feeling your way down into the heart space. Feeling warmth and expansion from the heart space. Feeling into the physical sensations, the warmth of the exhales, the feel of the breath as you inhale, the warmth of the breath as you exhale. And let's set the intention to stay open and curious to any and all of the thoughts or emotions that may arise in today's reflection and intention setting session. Everything is allowed to be here today. Stating your intention to stay open and curious to what arises. Now, very slowly, open your eyes, and let's start with reflecting on the past 90 days. Your first journal prompt is, describe January to March in one word. If one word is too difficult, use 2 or 3 words. Next, rate from 1 to 10 how much you agree with this statement. This quarter, I took steps to move closer to my 2021 intentions. As long as you were taking steps, that's what matters. Don't judge if those steps were fast enough or too slow. The fact that you took some kind of action is what matters. Next, pick out 3 highlights. This could be anything you've accomplished, feel proud of yourself for having done, or stay consistent with. It doesn't have to be big. Even making your bed daily this last 3 months is an achievement to celebrate. Next, pick out 3 challenges. Was there anything you struggled with in particular in the last 3 months? What were the main difficulties you had? What have you learned if you look through your list of highlights and challenges? Is there anything that stands out to you that perhaps you hadn't noticed before? Or are you realizing something new now that you look through these highlights and challenges? Next, what's one thing that can be improved moving into the next quarter? Finally, is there anything you want to shift or adjust in your 2021 intentions? If you're still on track, great. If you're not, or if you've had any new learnings, how are these going to shift or adjust your bigger overall goal or intention for this year? How was your first 3 months in review? Do share in the comments below what some of the highlights or challenges were and what you'd like to continue with or perhaps improve on moving into the next 3 months. Has anything shifted, or are you happy with where you're at? You might help give someone else some inspiration in how they approach their planning too, so share with the rest of us. If you're enjoying this interactive session, do hit like and subscribe to this channel too for more like this. Now let's look ahead to the next 3 months. If it's helpful, go back and revisit your 2021 intentions again. We talked about the 4 pillars I cover often on this channel around mind, body, soul, and purpose. How you are nourishing the mental, physical, and emotional aspects of self. And when it comes to purpose, it could cover everything from family to career to side hustle to passion project, whatever it is that drives you or gives you a sense of fulfillment and purpose. So for the next 90 days, it might be helpful to do a deeper dive into 1 or 2 of these mind, body, soul, or purpose pillars. You don't have to do them all at once in the next 90 days. That's the beauty about working in these 90-day cycles. With this in mind, let's do some planning for the next 3 months. April to June will be focused on. My top 3 goals for April to June are, if it helps, think of the 4 pillars of mind, body, soul, and purpose. Next, break this down into the top 3 goals you'd like to accomplish each month. So for example, April's top 3 goals, May's top 3 goals, and June's top 3 goals. If 3 goals per month seems a little bit too much of a stretch, make it just 1 top goal per month. Next, break this down into weekly goals you'd like to accomplish. This is where there's some flexibility to the planning because life throws its things at us and our best laid plans could always go awry. But even if you have a high-level top-line view of what your week-to-week tasks or action plan is, based on what your top 1 to 3 goals are for the month, if you need to shift things around, at least you've thought it through and you have some kind of a roadmap to follow, even if it means taking a different route to get to where you want to go. At least you know where you want to end up by the end of each month and hence by the end of the next quarter. If there's one piece of advice I could give you, that's start small and keep it simple. The easier something is to do, the more likely you are to do it. 5 minutes of meditation a day is more achievable than 1 hour or even half an hour a day. And the more you get into the habit of showing up and doing the thing, the more likely you want to keep that streak going. Next, schedule weekly or monthly reflection and review time with yourself. If you're finding this exercise helpful, imagine what it would be like to do this every month or if not, every week. And you can use this same video with these same prompts to check in with where you're at. I find Sunday evenings a great time to reflect on how the past week has been and to plan out how I want to time block each day for the upcoming week. Don't get me wrong, I never have a perfectly time blocked day or week because things always pop up at the last minute, but because I've blocked out the tasks into chunks of time, I can move them around in my diary depending on what else pops up at the last minute. So go on and schedule in those days that you want to check in with yourself and have these reviews. This is just the first step in living a more deliberate, intentional life by design. Nothing changes if nothing changes, and sometimes we just need to do things differently or try something different and see how that might shift where we are right now to where we want to be. If we never try something new or set intentions or goals to move towards, then we can't complain about feeling stuck. And then it's also important to keep checking in with those goals periodically to determine how we're doing and what needs to change if we're not hitting those goals. If you're still here in this video, hats off to you. I guess you really want to know how my first quarter went. In one word, exhausting. Some of you might know I have this double life where I'm not only a wellness coach, yoga and meditation teacher, but I'm also an executive producer in one of the world's top creative agencies. Because I knew my first quarter would be slammed working on a mega 3 production campaign, and it ended up being a 21-day shoot across 4 continents, and then there's the post-production on the back end of that. I wanted to focus my time and energy on that, which meant not taking on any wellness coaching clients in that period. Super ironic, because if you remember from my 2021 intentions video, my 2 words for this year is find rest. And it's like the universe was pranking me by throwing me into the busiest period of my working life, shoving it in my face.
Take that, Jamie. How are you going to find rest now?
But I kept coming back to my intention and scheduled in regular 10 to 15 minute yoga nidra sessions during the day. They were my conscious rest breaks or enhanced naps. I've got a whole playlist of daytime yoga nidras here if you're interested, and they really helped keep me sane and grounded through the lack of sleep, overnight shoots in different time zones, and the 1,000,001 changes that come with a production. So even when life throws its crap at you, and it will, changing up your routines to help support you through it is so important. I had no strength, stamina, or energy to continue 1-hour HIIT trainings or even a 1-hour power vinyasa yoga every day, and that's totally okay. I just did 5-minute yin yoga sessions throughout the day, turning to the more grounding, restorative practices like yin yoga and yoga nidra meditations really helped calm down my nervous system. And if you're curious, I'll link to 2 of the commercials in this campaign below. There are a whole bunch more being released in the next few weeks, so we're not quite done yet. So that's where I did well, finding pockets of sanity through the madness. And where I didn't do so well was I had grand plans to launch a beta program by March to help other exhausted, stressed out creatives get back their energy and help walk that fine line of balance through nutrition, movement, and personal rituals, everything I talk about here on this channel. I was clearly being over-ambitious, thinking I could create that program in the middle of post-production, and now when I think ahead to the next 3 months, in this next cycle, every cell in my being is saying rest. And this is counterintuitive for me. As someone who's kind of type A, overachieving, it's not in my nature to rest. Which explains why even my 2 words for this year is find rest and not just simply rest. Even the simple act of resting has to be intentional and active for me. I literally have to find it. But you know what? I know that's me and I'm working with where I'm at. Now, of course, I'm not going to be resting for a whole 3 months because let's get real, but I'm definitely giving myself at least a couple weeks downtime where I'm off work and off all Enlightened Spoon related projects to give myself that space. And in those 2 weeks, I'm hoping to give myself that time and space to get clearer on what I want my next 3 months to look like. I definitely want to be reaching out and talking to you if you find yourself feeling constantly exhausted too, just to get an understanding of what in particular you find most challenging. Let me know in the comments below or send me a message on Instagram if you don't want the internet to know your deepest, darkest secrets. My Instagram's up there. So my only commitment I'm clear about in the next quarter is to this YouTube channel, because to be honest, I love this creative outlet. I love being able to help you guys while talking about the topics and teaching you about the rituals that have helped me too. So definitely more meditation, nutrition, and lifestyle videos to help you stress less yet accomplish more. And if you like stuff like this, you might want to get on my email list where I send out 5 mind and body tips every month. They're 5 good things in the mind, body, soul area, similar to the stuff I talk about here in my videos. I'll put that link in description below too. What about you? I'd love to hear what you're committing to in the next 3 months. Share it in the comments below, because when we make our intentions known, we're more likely to be held accountable to them too. If you want to try out a daytime yoga nidra as enhanced rest, I have a playlist here, or start your day right with all of the morning rituals here. I hope this helps you flow through your busy life with more grace, ease, and flow. And don't forget to smash like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.